There's a woman named Doris who runs a coin laundromat on the corner of Meridian and 5th every Thursday morning from 7 to 3 o'clock. She's been doing it for 11 years. She brings her own lunch in a Snap lock container, eats at 12:15 whether she's busy or not, keeps a portable radio on the folding counter tuned to an oldies station she never changes. She knows most of her regulars by name. She knows which machines run hot. She knows the sound the change dispenser makes right before it jams. She knows you take machine 7 second row because it has the best spin cycle and the door seal doesn't whistle. She knows you're here every Thursday at 8:30. She thinks you're in commercial real estate. She is not wrong. She is missing most of the information. Your phone is face down on the plastic chair beside you. Somewhere in Columbus, a 47-unit apartment complex just auto-collected monthly rent. $84,000. No calls, no drama. Somewhere in Phoenix, a fleet of highway billboards. Your name on none of them, buried 2 layers deep in a holding company that has never been Googled to anything interesting, generated $74,000 this month in display contracts. Somewhere in 4 other cities, parking structures, self-storage facilities, a commercial cleaning company, a medical billing operation, and a regional pest control business are all running on a Thursday morning without a single call to you. $500 million in assets. Doris is folding someone's fitted sheets in the corner. She doesn't know she works in your building. It started with a coin-operated air machine at a gas station. Not a startup, not a mentor at a conference who redirected your life. Not a moment that would look good recreated in a documentary. A coin-operated air machine. Shell station on Route 9, suburb of Indianapolis. You were 25. You were driving a company car for a telecom equipment distributor, making $42,000 a year, and you needed air in your left rear tire. You put your dollar in. The machine ate it. You mentioned it to the cashier through the window. He shrugged and said, and this is the sentence, the specific one. He said, I don't own it. Some company does. You drove home with a low tire and a question you couldn't put down. For hours that night, at your kitchen table running math. You found 3 air and vacuum machine operators online. Called all 3 the next morning. 2 didn't return the call. The 3rd explained their revenue model in enough detail that you understood the full structure in about 12 minutes. You asked whether you could place machines under a revenue share agreement. He laughed, said, sure, if you want to spend a lot of time for not much money. You placed 2 machines at a gas station within the month, then a 3rd, then a 4th. First month net profit after every cost, $310. You know that's embarrassingly small. You knew it then. The number didn't matter. The architecture did. The people who understand what I'm about to walk you through don't come here looking for the big move. They already know the big move is built out of 100 small things nobody else was watching. Subscribe if that's you. By month 7, 11 machines. By month 14, enough monthly cash flow to ask a different question. What else runs like this? You told nobody, not your parents, not your college friends. It felt too small to mention. And by the time it stopped being small, silence had already become the entire structure. Here is what they never tell you about real money. The quiet is not humility. It is not performance. It is not a strategy you read about and decided to try. It is practical, load-bearing. And once you understand it, you cannot understand why anyone would operate differently. The moment someone truly knows, not suspects from your car or your shoes, but knows, something changes in their face that doesn't go back. You've watched it happen. A quiet recalibration. They're still looking at you, but they're now looking at a door they didn't know existed, trying to figure out where it leads and whether they need to walk through it. They don't mean anything by it. That took years to stop being resentful about. They genuinely don't mean anything by it. But the relationship has a new room in it now that both of you can feel and neither of you will name. And every conversation from that point carries that room. So you build a life designed not to be seen. The car is a 2020 Chevy Equinox, gray, 71,000 miles. A dent on the rear passenger door from a parking garage column in 2023, never fixed. The dent earns its place. It makes you easy to dismiss, and easy to dismiss is a form of protection that no Range Rover can purchase at any price. At a dinner 2 years ago, a man in an excellent watch asked what you drove. When you said equinox, his focus moved on mid-sentence in a way he almost certainly didn't notice himself doing. You spent the next 15 minutes asking him about himself, the easiest conversation on earth with a certain kind of man, and learned he managed other people's capital with considerable confidence and unremarkable results. You said goodnight. You drove home in the Equinox. The apartment is third floor, clean, minimal, the kind of place a careful professional settles into at a certain income and stops noticing after a while. You have owned the building for 7 years, 22 units. You live in one of them. Your name on the lease is real. Your name on the deed is in an LLC that has never resolved to anything when searched. The man across the hall, Dennis, does finish carpentry and is genuinely exceptional at it. Last fall, he knocked on your door at 9:45 p.m. to say water was coming through his bathroom ceiling. You told him you'd look into it. You texted your property manager before the door had fully closed. Plumber there by 7:30 the next morning. Dennis left a voicemail saying you were one of the good ones. The voicemail is still on your phone. You're not entirely sure why you haven't deleted it. The Air Machines funded the first real acquisition. A duplex in a neighborhood you knew from your delivery routes. The duplex funded the second, then a 12-unit, then a distressed commercial strip a regional bank needed removed from its books after a borrower default. Below replacement cost, same as always. Not because you were taking something from someone, but because speed and certainty are worth more to a motivated seller than the extra 10%, and you had become fast and certain in a way that was genuinely uncommon. Then a coin laundromat, then a second, then a commercial cleaning company from a 66-year-old man named Darnell who sat across from you in a Waffle House on a Thursday morning and said the things sellers always eventually say. I just need to know my people will be okay. You said, I will make sure of it. He believed you. The deal closed in 18 days. Then medical billing from Harold, 69, who wanted to retire near his grandkids. Then regional pest control. Then highway billboard leases assembled across 14 months through 3 separate brokers. None of them seeing the full picture until it was already complete and already yours. Then self-storage. Then parking structures in 3 secondary markets. None of it fast. None of it loud. None of it the kind of thing that gets mentioned when someone asks what you do. Here's Snorts, the thing about boring businesses that nobody says out loud. They don't need you to believe in them. They don't spike on Twitter. Nobody writes a think piece about a self-service laundromat generating $9,000 a month. They just sit there making money while everyone else is chasing the thing that shines. The best business you will ever own has no Instagram account, no pitch deck, and no one has ever asked you about it at a party. You stopped looking for the thing that shines around year 3. Not because you became wise, because you did the math. Your accountant, Victor, precise, unsentimental, 6 years together, looked at your full portfolio once and called it aggressively ordinary. He meant it as mild criticism. You asked him to write that down. He looked at you. He did not write it down. That was the moment you understood you had found the right person for the job. The loneliness is real. Not the dramatic kind. Not the kind you lie awake measuring. Just a quiet, persistent fact. There are rooms inside your life that nobody gets to walk into. Not out of cruelty. Not by calculation. Just because you've learned what happens when those rooms get open to the wrong people and what it costs when they do. You sit across from people you love and listen to them worry about things you could resolve with a single text message. You watch someone you've known for 15 years explain a concept to you that you understood in year 2. You smile. You ask questions. You let them arrive where they're going. It isn't dishonesty. It's the only version of the relationship that actually works. But there are whole conversations you can never have. Whole parts of yourself that exist in a room no one has ever been invited into. Some days, not most days, just some, you feel the weight of that door. Your closest friend, Terrence, is the kind of person who makes a room feel more like itself just by walking in.